In our last video, we created our very first VLAN. And now, I'll admit everything looked just fine once we completed everything and we got everything all configured. Our devices were getting their IP addresses and we can communicate with everything on the network, and everything was all sunshine and rainbows. We still had one major problem. We had this one rule that was still allowing our VLAN to communicate with our main network, and it's not something we want security wise. So today we'll go ahead and get that fixed up. From the command prompt, we can see that this laptop is still on VLAN 20. It can still reach my main network, which is my LAN, and that's something that we do not want to see happening. So in this video, I'll go ahead and show you how to prevent that from continuing to happen. Now, before we move along with this video, how to tutorial, whatever you want to call it, just let's take a moment, if you haven't already, to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, great. Now that we know we can still communicate back and forth between the two networks, what we want to do is jump back into that OPNsense dashboard. And from here, we'll click on the Firewall menu option, then click through rules, then you should be able to locate VLAN 20. And once you click into that VLAN 20 menu option. Right now at the moment we have nothing set up for our VLAN 20, and if we take a look at our LAN, we can see that the destination is set to any, and that means my VLAN can reach the internet, but it can also reach my main LAN. So the idea is basically instead of allowing access everywhere, I'm going to block traffic from VLAN 20 to my LAN while still allowing internet traffic on separate networks. Okay, now to get started, what we'll do is go into the firewall rules for VLAN 20, click on that little plus sign to the upper right hand corner. From there, you can see the first thing we do is change that action drop down to block. Then we scroll down to interface. We make sure we have our VLAN 20 selected. And from there, we have to change a few other things. We have to change the field options for source. For the source, what we want is to set it to the VLAN 20 network. And in your case, if you have it named differently, it will be whatever VLAN you're looking to prevent the communication to stop from going back and forth to. And for the destination, what we'll have is our LAN network. And once we have those set, both the source, destination, and the action, what we want to do is add our description. From here, I like to add something as simple as block VLAN 20 and then a little arrow pointing all the way to the right, blocking LAN. Something as simple as that, and that could just let you know in the future what this rule does. And I guess one major or other important feature that we should probably add, that we should probably do before we save, is make sure that we select and block the IPv6 traffic as well. We don't just want IPv4 traffic being blocked from one network to another. We want both of them. And once you have that selected in the drop down, let's go ahead and save to make sure we have our updated configuration for this firewall rule. Now, we did save and update that configuration, but there is another feature that you can add if you feel like it. It's the log feature. It'll make sure to keep logs of the firewall rules and any issues that may come from it. So it's good to have the feature if you're okay with it taking up the local space on your OPNsense. Now, if you labeled that log feature, we want to make sure that you hit that save button, because if you don't, then, well, you'll lose your configuration changes. And here we have two firewall rules. We have our allow, which was the original rule that we had, and it allowed any traffic to come into and outside of that VLAN. And then we have our newly and recently created block rule. So let's go ahead and make that change. What we want to do is make sure that the block LAN rule is on top and the allow internet is on the bottom. We want to make sure that the first rule is the block LAN rule. So very important, the rules are processed from top to bottom. So you get your priority from the top of the list to the bottom. So anything on top will be considered most important and priority. So once you apply those changes, make sure to plug back into your VLAN 20 port and you can go ahead and do some testing. What I did was confirm that I was on my IP address VLAN 20, and then I went ahead and launched a browser. Any browser works. I launched Google Chrome. As we can see, Google Chrome still works. We're able to go to google.com and we have no issues with that. And what we'll do is go ahead and ping our main LAN network, which is the .50. We can see here the request is timing out, which is unlike before where we were able to get a successful ping.
So now let's go ahead and perform a test. We want to make sure we are still on VLAN 20. And as you can see, it is a .20 VLAN 20 IP address. And we also want to go back and test to see if we can get connected to our OPNsense. We know that our OPNsense is connected or on an IP address that belongs to our main network. As you can see, the website isn't loading. So the VLAN isn't broken. It's still getting DHCP. It still has internet, but the firewall is simply preventing it from initiating connections back into our trusted main LAN network.
So that's pretty much it for part 5 of the series. In this video, we pretty much just enabled or configured security for our VLANs. We have 2 fully functional separate networks. We have VLAN 20 and we have our primary network. First layer of security comes in where we now have VLAN 20 with no back communication or connection to our primary network. It's completely isolated. So in the prior video, we pretty much just created the VLAN and we added no layers of security, nothing much. It was pretty bare bones. But in this one, we are adding some firewall rules in order to prevent that back and forth communication between the two, just to make sure things are secure. And then further down the line, we can fine tune and make sure to allow certain devices or the devices that we would like to have access to VLAN 20. Now, if you've been following along the series, I hope you enjoyed and you've learned a lot. And if so, please feel free to subscribe, share, comment, like. And like always, thanks for watching.